Yeah, let's start with your sun sign. All right, so when you were born, of course, the sun was in Sagittarius. This down here is the glyph for Sagittarius, and this is the glyph for the sun, the magnificent sun. It's in your second house, and the second house is a Taurus house. So this shows that your how you shine. Basically, you're here to um, gather resources. You're here to bring forth resources. This is the area you would shine. This is a Taurus house, so it gives you a Taurus slash Sagittarius soul, basically. Taurus is known for being stable, reliable, resourceful. Also, on one end, Taurus energy can be very practical, but definitely, you have a lot of energy in this area, so I would think that you want to you're very focused in this area. It deals with your resources, your money. You know, um, I can't leave out of course Sagittarius because we know you're a Sagittarius sun. Sagittarius suns, you need freedom basically. You need freedom. You need to be able to expand your horizon, travel, explore higher philosophies. This could be either studying at university, or it could just be doing your own thing to where you're self-educating yourself, but you would need to definitely be expanding your mind and just growing. Um, you have before we talk a little more about the sun sign, right? You have one, two, three, four, excuse the noise in the background, but you have four planets in Sagittarius. So this is a lot of mutable energy. So mutable, it can make you, first of all, it's a stellium here. Stellium, I like to say it's three or more planets. So, this can make you impressionable, very adaptable, very mutable. And then let me see if you have anything else. You have, I already talked about this before, but you have five planets right here. You got Jupiter and Pisces. This is um, another mutable sign. So whenever I see this is like, I'll just be mindful of like, it can make you impressionable. So it's like, you just want to be mindful of, you want to make sure you're grounded basically. You know what I mean? Your energy's not all over the place. You want to be mindful of alcohol and drugs, and just, good thing it's not in Pisces though, because Pisces will be definitely be escaping a lot, but just mutable can be very adaptable. You know what I mean? Now, the good thing I do want to say is that with all these planets in the second house, this could ground you a little more, but I'm sure, you probably want to do, you want to expand in a lot of different ways, basically. You know what I mean? With you having so many planets in Sag. Um, let's see. You have your sun sign, and sun sign is making an aspect to the moon. So
I'm
this
gonna
talks about
interject.
you.
Could you time it?
Did we talk? Yeah. Uh-huh. So your sun sign making a trine to your Leo moon, right? So this tells us that your personality and your feelings are in line. They're both coming through masculine signs. You have a Leo moon, and then you also have a Sagittarius sun. Um, so this energy is projected outwards. You feel like you feel like shining, and then you also for you to get you need to be exploring basically for your identity to grow. You know what I mean? You need to expand the horizons, like I said. You also have a aspect between, let's see, you got the sun making a square to Jupiter. Um, well, off top, I'm meant to say this too, but Sagittarius suns a lot of times it shows that the father, was an explorer or either was from overseas, foreign cultures. Um, it can sometimes show your father being a Rolling Stone, but he definitely would have been centered around, his paper, as this is the second house again, just like you. And being the fact that you have your sun and your moon sign in Earth houses, this is a Capricorn house up here where your moon is at. You get emotional fulfillment through being structured, going through your legacy, going towards your legacy, focusing on your career, how you're seen in your professional, as your professional image, basically. Sun and Sag, of course, too. Like I said, these are Earth houses, so you need to be working on your material manifestations and bringing forth um, resources. You know what I mean? You need to be focused on this area. Now, let's see. We'll jump up to your moon sign and Leo. Do you have any questions, before? By the way, can you hear me?
I'm okay. I can hear you.
Okay, you have any questions or anything that you want to talk about?
No.
Okay, so Moon and Leo just tells us you feel like shining or being seen in your career. Whenever the moon is in the 10th house, you have that maternal energy here. So it's like you need a career, you need to work in environments to where you have emotional attachment to it. It fulfills you. You know what I mean? You can't just be doing mundane things. You can, but it's not going to bring you the fulfillment that you need. Um, Also, this can indicate the moon. Can also indicate the general public. So on another level, it can show you or your work coming before the public. And I would say, this can range from healing work, working with women, but you also with Leo here on your 10th house and in this area, your work needs to be centered around you. You know, this can involve dramatic arts, any form of performance, acting, dancing, singing. Leo deals with children, so this could be nurturing children in a career. It could play out in multitude of ways, but yeah, that's what I would think. Um, excuse me for this. So let's see. Your moon is making a moon is sitting right by your north node, and it's sitting right. It's making an aspect to your south node. It's interesting. It's interesting because on one end, your moon is sitting opposite of your south node. So south node is where you're comfortable at. It represents past life energy. Um, you know, you could be comfortable basically, I would say being like the humanitarian for your family. But it's interesting because you also get emotional fulfillment and your life's purpose is to go towards being seen for your career and your reputation because you will feel a bit more alienated, with this Aquarius on the fourth house. But you are definitely like the savior of your family as you have this Aquarian energy here on the fourth house cusp. We're going to go to your ascendant sign. Your ascendant is basically when you walk in a room, like I said, it's how you're seen. Um, when we think about Scorpio energy right here, this is a sign for Scorpio. Scorpio goes through a lot of transformation. It's ruled by Pluto, and Pluto is the furthest planet from the sun. So it represents an element of darkness. When we think about the sun, it shines, everything revolves around it. But when we think about this plutonic energy, it's more hidden. It's more, like I said, the furthest planet from the sun. So with how you come off, there could be an element of secrecy, privacy, or mystery. But you're definitely the type that's going to be going through a lot of transformations. Sometimes this could be a chaotic energy in terms of what we attract, but you're constantly changing. You're constantly changing, going through transformations. Um, and let's see, you have Saturn opposed your ascendant, so you have a responsibility towards being a leader in your work environment, but this can be an obstacle because you're constantly saying that you're constantly transforming or having to change yourself basically. And this deals with health, our daily routines, the sixth house. You have to work a bit harder in this area, which you have in Saturn here. Let's see. Any questions before I move on? Be quiet. I don't want to dialogue with you.
Yeah,
If we can.
I wanna ask about, you said that I have Saturn. So I have Saturn in my descendant?
It's making a conjunction to your descendant. So that means that it's still affecting your descendant, which is your seventh house and your partnerships, your relationships. This is elder.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, elder energy. but it represents Saturn's karmic lessons. It's karmic lessons. It's where you're a bit more restrained. It can represent where we're more pessimistic at, fears, blockages, basically. So blockages around work and your daily routine. And since it's coming through Aries, you being a leader in this area, you have a responsibility to wherever Saturn is at. So when your Saturn return comes, some people say 27, but 20, 27, 28, all the way to like 30. When Saturn returns to the natal position, it's like your spiritual rites of passage. So where if you're doing the work, Saturn lifts his veil. If you're not, then the universe has a way of shaking things up to where it's a bit harder. But I'm sure you probably feel, more blocked in your work environment. And like I said, this is an obstacle, but you transforming yourself, basically. That's what it talks about. With this line coming here, this obstacle. Let's see.
Question.
What's up?
It's an obstacle to myself.
Mm-hmm.
So as long as I do the work, the personal work, because it's mostly on this side of the screen.
What side? The left side? What are we talking about?
Yeah, there's more
planets.
I mean, we talked about there's more planets. Everything's on the left side by the my ascendant side more than my descendant. Does that mean something too?
Yeah, when you have most of your planets on the left side, you have 7 out of 10 planets. That means that your focal point is on yourself, basically.
Okay.
This side represents ourselves. The right side represents other people, partnerships.
The outside world. Okay.
Yeah, well, outside world is more so up here. This is
okay. So 12 to 3 p.m. or 3 o'clock.
Or the 7th house to the 12th house would be more so the outer world. This is more our inner or personal world below the horizon. This is above the horizon. This is below the horizon. The horizon basically is
what again?
So the first to the 6th house, this is below the horizon. This is the eastern horizon when you were born, the ascendant. This is where the sun sets on the day you were born. Because the sun is basically coming over the horizon, moving over this way as the point is going. So did I answer your question, or does that resonate with you in terms of it's a focal point?
I think
I'm listening.
I think I definitely understand like how this Saturn affects my 7th and 6th house. Nope, yeah. I'm lying. Not my 6th. The 6th house doesn't have anything to do with it, right? Oh, it does.
It's affecting your partner. Yeah, since it's so close. The Saturn energy is so close to your 7th house. It's also affecting your 7th house. It's affecting your 6th house and 7th. So 6 is, it could be health. It could be blockages with this, daily routines, work environment. When it's in the 7th house, this talks about your partnerships. I would suggest you probably get married after your Saturn return if you if you were planning on getting married. Because a lot of times from what I've seen, and just other astrologers listen to them as well, it's probably not gonna last as you have this block close to this area of partnerships. But it indicates with Saturn here, it's like it could take a bit longer for marriage, but it also can indicate an elder energy in terms of what you attract or how you come off in your one-on-one relationships and your partnership. You come off as a bit more mature when you have Saturn here. Okay. It's like Capricorn energy, Okay. And you need that stability when you're in your partnerships. You know what I mean? With Taurus right here, Taurus is a sign of stability, being secure. Since you're going through constant transformations with yourself, then you got to secure the opposite area, which is Taurus on your 7th house in your partnership. You got to be more secure here.
Okay.
Got any more questions before we move on?
No, that was it. Thank you.
Okay, so we're gonna go to your chart rulers. Your chart rulers, traditionally, Scorpio is ruled by Mars. Mars is sitting in your 11th house. So a major focal point would be, the 11th house, it deals with two things. It deals with multiple things, but the main two things I like to talk about is it deals with your friendships. So this could be you directing your energy in harmony with friendships. This could be a major focal point. Our chart ruler represents an area to where it's like a focal point for our soul development in this lifetime. So 11th house is friends, friendships, networks, group of people. You directing your energy in this way or in this manner, basically. We see that it would be some issues in this area because Mars is by nature a malefic planet. So it's like you have that type of energy, you know, wherever Mars at, you have to fight more, you know. You have to fight more in this area with friends, and it's coming through Libra, so this is also friendship. Aquarius is like friends, groups of people, networks. Then it's both coming through. It's coming through, excuse me, Libra, like I just said. So this is also friends as well too. But you know, you also are directing your energy in this area as like, I would say more so a peacemaker or a diplomat. You know, with you having Mars to Libra. So this will be a major focal point. And also too, this house represents your aspirations, your goals. You're directing your energy in 11th house, and your goals will be centered around this could be health, as Virgo deals with health up here. It deals with work. You know what I mean? You want to self-improve. Wherever Virgo's at on the chart is what we pay more critical attention to. But we're trying to constantly work and perfect this because Virgo is very analytical. It deals with perfecting, you know? So this would be a major focal point. What do you think about that, by the way? Any of the things I've said?
Yeah, I never really noticed that it started in Libra and then it's going into Virgo. So I'm trying to understand
starting
how
in Virgo. Virgo's
it
on the
started in
cusp.
Virgo?
Yeah, Virgo's on the
Oh,
cusp.
okay, because it's going like this way. Okay.
Yeah, Libra's on, but your
Wherever
Mars and Libra in that
wherever
house.
so wherever a planet lands, that's the sign. It doesn't matter if it starts at Virgo. Wherever it ends, that's what matters.
No, it's not necessarily. Well, we were initially talking about your chart ruler, so we were talking about Mars is your chart ruler as well as Pluto. We didn't get to Pluto yet, but Mars here is in your 11th house in Libra.
How do you know that Mars is my ruler and Pluto?
Because traditionally, Scorpio is ruled by Mars.
And your ascendant is your chart ruler.
No, your ascendant is the sign on the eastern horizon when you were born. The chart ruler is the planet that rules over the sign. So Mars rules over Scorpio.
But because of the ascendant plays a role in it. The
Yeah,
ascendant sign. Okay.
yeah. It tells us how you act, how you act when people first meet you. Basically, it tells us how you act.
Okay.
Um,
I feel like I don't act scorpionic when I meet people. Sorry to like change the topic. We're getting personal.
mm-hmm.
But that's another topic for another day. But go ahead.
Probably because but you got to think about too though. It's because you have all this energy and excuse me, and Sag. Yeah. So you come off. Remember, this is like Sagittarius energy is optimistic. It's joyful. It wants to have fun, expand the horizon. Maybe teach or be. You know what I mean? This is guru and teacher energy. But the mask you can wear, like I said, is that element of constantly transforming, or you might feel like you want to hide yourself. You also had an aspect. We're gonna get back to this because I don't want to skip out on the chart ruler, but you had an aspect to Neptune. So you have Neptune squared your ascendant. This means that you more than what meets the eye. You can idealize things in terms of how you come off, or you know, when people meet you, they don't necessarily know you, basically. It also can indicate that you have a spiritual outlook on life, basically. As Neptune deals with spirituality, it deals with our dreams. Let's see.
The sign for Neptune is the green one?
No, Neptune right here is the blue blip right here. Yeah, this is Aquarius, the green one. Let me see. Oh yeah, so yeah, let's get back to your chart ruler. So we talked about Mars here, Mars and Libra in the 11th house. Then your other chart ruler is Pluto. So another focal point in your life, for your soul evolution will be your resources. And in particular, Pluto deals with our power. It's us regenerating ourselves, death and rebirth. But wherever Pluto is, I like to say it's what we seek to control and what we obsess about. So this could be you seeking to control your resources and a lot of resources, basically, because it's coming through Jupiter. You know, I'm sure this is going to bring forth your power, which is what Pluto represents. You know what I mean? This is the area of life where you want to transform as well. What do you think about that?
That definitely makes sense. I'm really yeah.
Okay.
Does that mean also?
I'm listening.
Does that mean I also want to control my health?
Well, the health more
Does
so
that
would
have
be the sixth house. The sixth
okay.
house and the sign of Virgo could tell us about health. If we wanted to talk about health, though, I wouldn't say you want to control your health. Um, Give me one second. I want Mercury. And then Mercury is. I wouldn't necessarily say that, but a goal and aspiration of yours could be health because you have Virgo in the house that represents that 11th house up here.
Okay.
Excuse the noise in the background.
I don't
Um,
hear it.
but health ailments, you know, when you have Aries here, this deals with the head. Um, that's what Aries rules over.
Mm-hmm.
And Saturn, of course, we talked about what it deals with, the bones, the knees as well. In terms of health issues, possible health issues that can show up.
Okay.
Yeah, so your North Node, we talked about this, but your North Node is going to take, you know, usually North Node comes anywhere from like 30 to 40s, but it's about you being seen in your career. Like I said, as you're more so comfortable being the humanitarian for your family, you feel a bit more detached in this area, but you need to go towards being seen in the world. You know, um,
Mm-hmm.
that's what I would say. You know, questions. Throw something at me. How you feeling?
Ooh, now I gotta think of questions.
Because I
I
can
would
go.
like to
I can.
ask since
Mhm. Go ahead.
I noticed that each water sign has a specific color and all that. Okay, I think I have a question about you can't see my screen, but I feel like we talked about this the other day. I don't remember, but it's right here by Sagittarius. It's yeah, it's that.
Here, this Pluto.
Yeah, the blue. This Pluto. We already talked
Yeah,
about that just today, just now.
yeah. This Pluto.
Okay.
This. It just means like, well, with Pluto here, if we wanted to look at Pluto is making a. Let me see.
I
Yeah, we
think
already
that
talked about this with chart.
generational. Yeah, we
Yeah.
talked about this last time.
Yeah.
But I think that's Pluto and Sagittarius. That's just a generational thing.
Yeah. Generational
Okay.
thing. Yeah. So it's a lot of ways we can read the chart. You know, we can read it through by zodiac sign on the cusp and look at
Mm-hmm.
polarities. We can look at planets through the signs, and we can look at it as planets through the signs through the houses. You know, if we want to look at
Mm-hmm.
polarities, like I said before, you're going through transformations. So you need to be more secure in your relationships or secure this area because you're constantly changing. A lot of times when we change and it's, we lose people, when we're constantly growing and we're constantly transforming.
What I
Um,
learned from this,
mhm.
what I learned from this reading, I just basically have to ground myself because it's all about me. This is me. Like Leo Moon is saying, it's about me, and Sagittarius energy with all those stelliums. It's about me. I need to focus on me and um stay away from the dark side. I think that's what it's trying to tell me too. Because of the Neptune was a conjunction with the Jupiter and the something you said
Nep-
earlier, like
what up?
Neptune and
Neptune up
not
here?
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Neptune down here, excuse me. Neptune was just making an aspect to your ascendant. It was making a square. Um, so so this is basically is almost like having a whatever planet aspects the ascendant is basically how we come off as well. Our ascendant. So Neptune rules over Pisces. So it's like having a Pisces ascendant, but it's showing that it's a confliction with how you're coming off. Um,
Okay.
Let me see. Hold on a second. Let's see. Neptune is in Aquarius in the third house. Um, Whenever you have Neptune in the third house, then it's like your communication and your thinking can be a bit foggy. It may be harder to articulate yourself, basically.
Okay.
But it's showing you, it's basically saying that you can have dreams of progressing with communication, basically, or even media, because the third house can deal with media as well. You
Okay.
know, this house represents siblings. So there could be some confusion around this area with your youngest sibling, and particularly your first youngest sibling. Um, but yeah, that's how I would look at it. And let me see, with it making that aspect to your ascendant, that square, then I would just think, you come off as more of a mystery. Um, it could be even relating to these matters that we just talked about, like with siblings, with neighbors, with relatives as well. In
Okay.
terms of how you act, basically. If we wanted to talk about your second house, you have what's known as Sagittarius here, and you have, if you're looking at the polarities, you got Sagittarius and you have Gemini. So off top, this is intercepted, meaning that it's not connected to a house. We go to custom graph. I don't know if you can see it, but it's basically, let's see, it's like basically this house cuts right here, this line, and this line is a little bit like the Sagittarius. These are 30 degrees right here. It's inside of, or it's contained inside of it. So it's not connected to a house, basically. So it's missing the Sagittarius element and the Gemini. So whenever I see this, this is
Because
like,
it's
go ahead, I'm listening.
because it's 29 degrees.
No, because it's not connected to a house. It might be kind of hard to see because it's close to it, but it's intercepted, it's missing. So you would have felt
What is
like
Miss
you're not heard. These two, this energy of communication,
Gemini?
yeah, and this could be like maybe like your beliefs or philosophy. Like you do have a lot of energy in this area, but it definitely I would think, this is missing up here, this communication. You feeling like you're not heard at times.
Okay. I need
And
this to be explained because I'm kind of confused. I'm sorry.
what you confused
I'm
about?
not sorry. Um, I'm confused about you're saying that Sagittarius is missing. I'm missing Gemini
Yeah, you're missing the energy
somehow.
in your chart because it's intercepted, it's not
Mm-hmm.
connected to a house.
Mm-hmm.
See, look, let me show you something. Um, these are the different house right here. You see where the point is at? This is the ascendant, the
Mm-hmm.
first house. So when we go to the second house, it also starts at 29 degrees over here in Scorpio.
Okay. Okay.
So as you see, Sagittarius is not connected. It doesn't show. It's not showing
Oh,
Sagittarius. And just
but
like
it'll come up as Sagittarius in other charts. I've seen it say Sagittarius in other charts, but because it starts in Scorpio, and majority of it is Sag, it just claims Scorpio because that's the start of the house.
you said, what?
I've seen it say Sagittarius before in the second house, but because it starts in Scorpio, it just it starts at Scorpio. Like they put Scorpio for a reason.
No, you might have been doing a different house system. Like if you do whole house systems, then it's going to connect everything. You're going to have all the energies in every house. But I don't necessarily do it. This is Placidus house, the way I read it. But
Hmm.
I'm sure you probably are going to feel like the element of Sagittarius and whatever house is on the opposite side, Gemini, these energies are missing from your chart. I'm sure you probably feel like you
Okay.
weren't heard or you're not heard. Um, this could be with partners because it's coming through the eighth house. Um, in intimacy, you may feel like you're not heard or communication is not there at times. Whereas you see down here, you don't have the Gemini glyph in
Hmm.
your eighth house because it's intercepted, it's not there. So by
What
default,
is?
you have
Hmm.
Taurus on the seventh and the eighth house club.
Yeah.
Just like over here, you have Scorpio on the ascendant and the second house, which are opposite of the eighth and the seventh. What were you saying?
So okay, that makes sense. I was gonna say, what does IC mean again? Or
I see is like they call it the Imam Coli. So that's like basically the fourth house.
hmm
Um it's basically the fourth house. You want to know what it represents?
I think
Whatever.
um I might be wrong, but it just relation it with how my household was growing up, basically.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, any other questions?
No, I'm all questioned out. I barely asked you questions. I'm sorry.
That's all good. So, that's pretty much it. And
Yeah.
what were your thoughts, if any? Like, it was kind of short, but what was your thoughts?
Very good. I think I got a lot of information now in a short period of time. Um, it kind of answered some, like, it cleared up confusion with some placements. I still have a lot to learn.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I feel like I could read the chart better now, just looking at it a little bit more.
Okay.
A little bit,
Okay.
not that much. Um, just vocabulary mostly.
Okay.
But
Okay.
you did a good job, and yeah, I kind of understand myself a little better every day as we do this.
Okay. Thank you. So
No
I'll talk to you another
problem.
time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right, have
Okay.
a good one.
All right.